Clint Eastwood is one of Hollywood's most iconic and enduring figures, whose career spans over 6 decades. From his early days as a rugged gunslinger in spaghetti westerns to his acclaimed work as a director and producer, Eastwood has demonstrated remarkable versatility, resilience, and artistic vision. His journey through the film industry is not just a testament to talent but also to evolution, reinventing himself multiple times to stay relevant and impactful in a constantly changing cinematic landscape. Eastwood's rise to fame began in the 1960s with his portrayal of the man with no name in Sergio Leone's spaghetti western trilogy. A Fistful of Dollars, 1964, For a Few Dollars More, 1965, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, 1966. These films catapulted him to international stardom and redefined the Western genre with their stylized violence, moral ambiguity, and iconic music. Eastwood's stoic demeanor, piercing stare, and minimalist acting style became instantly recognizable and influential for generations of actors. In the 1970s, Eastwood solidified his status as a cultural icon with the Dirty Harry series. Playing the no-nonsense San Francisco cop Harry Callahan, he delivered unforgettable lines like, "Do you feel lucky, punk?" and became the face of tough justice during a time of social unrest. The character of Dirty Harry stirred controversy for his methods, but resonated with audiences who were disillusioned with bureaucracy and rising crime. Yet Eastwood never allowed himself to be typecast. While continuing to act, he gradually transitioned into directing, and establishing himself behind the camera with films such as Play Misty for Me, 1971, and The Outlaw Josie Wales, 1976. However, it wasn't until the 1990s that he achieved his most significant critical success as a filmmaker. Unforgiven, 1992, a dark and revisionist Western, earned him Academy Awards for Best Director and Best Picture. The film marked a turning point in Eastwood's career, proving that he could be both a box office draw and an auteur of serious cinema. Eastwood's directorial achievements continued with powerful films like Mystic River, 2003, $1 Million Baby, 2004, Gran Torino, 2008, and American Sniper, 2014. $1 Million Baby won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, once again highlighting Eastwood's ability to craft emotionally resonant and morally complex narratives. He often explored themes of redemption, aging, violence, and the American identity, using subtle storytelling and understated performances. One of the most remarkable aspects of Eastwood's career is his longevity and willingness to take risks. Even in his 80s and 90s, he continued acting and directing. His film The Mule, 2018, saw him in front of the camera again, portraying a character based on a real-life drug courier in his 80s. In Cry Macho, 2021, he challenged conventions by playing a frail yet determined cowboy, proving once more that he defies Hollywood's expectations about age and relevance. Eastwood's success can also be attributed to his business acumen and independent spirit. He maintained a long-standing relationship with Warner Bros., but often retained creative control over his projects. Known for his efficient shooting style and preference for minimal takes, he fostered a collaborative and respectful working environment that drew repeated praise from actors and crew members. Throughout his career, Eastwood has garnered numerous awards, including multiple Oscars, Golden Globes, and Lifetime Achievement honors. But beyond accolades, his real success lies in the mark he has left on cinema itself. He has become a symbol of masculine strength and stoicism, a champion of character-driven storytelling, and a rare artist who has succeeded both in front of and behind the camera. In conclusion, Clint Eastwood's career is a portrait of artistic evolution, determination, and unwavering commitment to storytelling. From a Western antihero to an Oscar-winning director, he has continuously challenged himself and the industry. His work will remain a cornerstone of American cinema, inspiring future generations of filmmakers and audiences alike. Clint Eastwood is widely known for his iconic roles in Hollywood and his remarkable directorial achievements. But beyond his work in film, he has also made significant contributions to his community and to broader social causes. Throughout his decades-long career, Eastwood has demonstrated a deep commitment to civic engagement, environmental preservation, and cultural enrichment. making him not only a legendary figure in cinema, but also a valuable asset to the public good. One of Clint Eastwood's most notable community contributions stems from his long-standing connection with Carmel by the Sea, a small coastal city in California. In 1986, frustrated by the local government's bureaucracy and restrictive regulations, Eastwood ran for mayor and won in a landslide. During his two-year term, Eastwood was praised for revitalizing the city's infrastructure, making it more accessible to residents and tourists alike. He simplified the permit process for businesses, improved library services, and helped preserve the city's artistic and cultural charm, all while declining his mayoral salary. His leadership brought national attention to the importance of local governance and civic responsibility. In addition to his political efforts, Eastwood has been a passionate environmentalist. As a property developer, he has taken great care to protect natural landscapes and maintain ecological balance. He helped establish the Clint Eastwood Foundation, which supports conservation efforts and environmental education. He has been involved in preserving California's Monterey Peninsula and has donated land to local trusts to prevent overdevelopment. His commitment to sustainable land use has influenced both policy and public awareness. Eastwood's philanthropic work also extends to veterans and first responders. A firm supporter of the military, Eastwood has directed and produced films that highlight the emotional and psychological toll of combat, such as American Sniper and Flags of Our Fathers. Beyond filmmaking, he has supported numerous charities and programs that benefit veterans, including those that provide mental health services, job training, and housing. His respectful and nuanced portrayal of soldiers has helped bring awareness to the complex realities faced by military personnel returning from war. Education and the arts are also areas where Eastwood has made a strong impact. He has donated generously to schools, scholarship funds, and music programs. A trained pianist and jazz enthusiast, Eastwood has supported young musicians through grants and sponsored concerts and festivals, notably the Monterey Jazz Festival. His dedication to nurturing future generations of artists underscores his belief in the transformative power of the arts. Clint Eastwood's influence is further felt in his mentoring of young makers and actors. Throughout his directing career, he has consistently created opportunities for emerging talent, both in front of and behind the camera. His productions are known for their professionalism, respect, and encouragement of collaboration, which have earned him admiration across the industry. In conclusion, Clint Eastwood's legacy goes far beyond his achievements in film. Through public service, environmental advocacy, support for veterans, commitment to education and the arts, and mentorship within the industry, Eastwood has made lasting and meaningful contributions to his community. His work reflects a deep sense of responsibility and compassion, proving that his impact on the world reaches well beyond the silver screen. Clint Eastwood, one of the most iconic figures in American cinema, is known not only for his impressive body of work as an actor and director, but also for his enigmatic and multifaceted personality. Over the course of his decades-long career, Eastwood has cultivated a public image that blends stoic masculinity with an understated intellect and strong personal convictions. His personality has both inspired admiration and provoked debate, making him one of the most compelling figures in the entertainment industry. At first glance, Eastwood's personality can be defined by the same characteristics that shaped his early screen persona: toughness, resilience, independence, and silence. In films such as A Fistful of Dollars, Dirty Harry, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Eastwood often portrayed lone wolf characters who let their actions speak louder than words. This reserved, brooding type became synonymous with Eastwood himself, leading many to assume that the actor and the roles he played were one and the same. In many ways, this was true. Eastwood is famously private, avoids excessive media attention, and chooses his public statements carefully. Yet, beneath this stoic facade lies a man of surprising complexity. One of the defining traits of Eastwood's personality is his fierce independence. He has always resisted conforming to the norms of Hollywood or bending to the pressures of popular opinion. As a filmmaker, he is known for shooting quickly, staying on budget, and demanding creative control over his projects. His work ethic is rigorous, and he expects the same level of commitment from those he works with. This no-nonsense approach has earned him a reputation as a disciplined and efficient director. He rarely does multiple takes and prefers a quiet set, valuing professionalism and focus above all else. Eastwood is also known for his strong sense of loyalty and fairness. Many of his collaborators, including actors and crew members, have praised his respectful and generous nature. He often works with the same people across multiple projects, creating a sense of camaraderie and trust on set. Despite his quiet demeanor, those close to him describe Eastwood as warm, witty, and supportive. He may be guarded with strangers, but he deeply values personal relationships and displays great kindness to those he trusts. Politically, Eastwood is a self-described libertarian with a deep belief in individual freedom and personal responsibility. This outlook has influenced both his public comments and his films, many of which explore themes of justice, morality, and the limits of authority. He has been criticized and praised for his views, especially when he delivered an unscripted speech at the 2012 Republican National Convention. Yet, even in the face of controversy, Eastwood has remained unapologetically true to his principles, demonstrating a steadfastness that is rare in the world of celebrity. Another intriguing aspect of Eastwood's personality is his intellectual curiosity and artistic ambition. While he may have begun his career as a rugged leading man, Eastwood has grown into a thoughtful and daring filmmaker. He is not afraid to tackle morally complex stories or explore uncomfortable truths. Films like Unforgiven, $1 Million Baby, Mystic River, and Letters from Iwo Jima reveal a filmmaker interested in the gray areas of human experience. This philosophical depth contrasts with his early macho image, revealing a more introspective and evolved personality than many assumed. In his personal life, Eastwood has had his share of ups and downs. He has fathered 8 children with multiple women, and his romantic relationships have often made headlines. While some have criticized this aspect of his life, others view it as part of his complex humanity. Eastwood does not pretend to be perfect, nor does he seek to explain or justify his choices. This authenticity, flaws and all, is part of what makes him such a compelling figure. In conclusion, Clint Eastwood's personality is a rich blend of stoicism, independence, loyalty, and artistic vision. While he often appears reserved and enigmatic, those who look deeper find a man of conviction, creativity, and integrity. His quiet strength, coupled with a fearless approach to storytelling and life, has cemented his place as one of Hollywood's most enduring legends. Eastwood is not just a man of few words. He is a man of meaning, whose actions continue to speak volumes about who he is. Clint Eastwood is an icon of American cinema, celebrated for his rugged screen presence and his skill as a director. Yet, like many public figures with decades in the spotlight, Eastwood has not been without controversy. His long career has been marked by artistic, political, and personal decisions that have sparked public debate and divided opinion. These controversies, while not overshadowing his legacy, have shaped public perception and added complexity to his image as a cultural figure. One of the earliest and most persistent controversies surrounding Eastwood has involved the violent themes in his films. As the Man with No Name in Sergio Leone's Dollars trilogy, and as Harry Callahan in Dirty Harry, Eastwood came to embody a brand of vigilantism that some critics found troubling. In particular, Dirty Harry, 1971, was accused of glorifying police brutality and promoting a right-wing authoritarian worldview. The film's release sparked protests from civil rights groups and led to heated debates about violence in cinema. While fans praised Eastwood's performance and the film's gritty realism, others argued it sent the wrong message about justice and due process. Eastwood's political views have also generated significant controversy. A self-described libertarian, he has at times aligned with conservative values, supporting limited government and individual freedom. In 2012, he made headlines with his unscripted appearance at the Republican National Convention, where he delivered a speech to an empty chair meant to represent then-President Barack Obama. The awkward and rambling address went viral and drew widespread criticism and ridicule, even from some conservatives. While Eastwood later acknowledged the improvisational nature of the speech, it became a defining moment that underscored his unpredictable public persona. Beyond politics, some of Eastwood's directorial choices have ignited debate. His 2014 film, American Sniper, based on the life of Navy SEAL Chris Kyle, was praised by many as a patriotic tribute, but it also faced backlash for its portrayal of war and its perceived lack of nuance. Critics accused the film of glorifying violence and painting a simplistic picture of the Iraq War. Others felt it failed to sufficiently explore the moral complexity of Kyle's actions and the broader context of U.S. military intervention. Eastwood defended the film, stating that it was a character study rather than a political statement, but the controversy highlighted the fine line between patriotism and propaganda. Eastwood's comments on race and culture have also stirred controversy. In various interviews over the years, he has criticized political correctness and expressed frustration with what he sees as overly sensitive social attitudes. In a 2016 interview with Esquire, he referred to contemporary discourse as a pussy generation that is overly concerned with offending others. While his supporters viewed these remarks as a defense of free speech and traditional values, critics accused him of being out of touch and dismissive of legitimate social concerns, particularly regarding race, gender, and equality. On a more personal level, Eastwood's private life has also drawn scrutiny. He has had multiple long-term relationships and fathered 8 children with several different women, some of whom he did not publicly acknowledge for many years. While this is ultimately a private matter, it has fueled media speculation and raised questions about his views on family and responsibility. Still, Eastwood has generally kept his personal life out of the spotlight, rarely responding to tabloid coverage or engaging in public disputes. Despite these controversies, Clint Eastwood has maintained a reputation for professionalism and artistry in the film industry. His films continue to attract both critical acclaim and box office success, and he remains a respected figure among actors, directors, and audiences alike. While some of his views and creative decisions have sparked debate, they have also contributed to the ongoing conversation about art, politics, and culture in America. In conclusion, Clint Eastwood is a figure of both admiration and controversy. His career reflects the tensions inherent in American society between law and liberty, tradition and progress, individualism and accountability. Whether one agrees with his positions or not, there is no denying that Eastwood has left a significant mark not just on cinema, but on the cultural and political landscape of the United States. It was just past midnight in Carmel by the Sea when the quiet hum of the coastal wind was interrupted by the sudden flicker of emergency lights outside Clint Eastwood's secluded estate. At 95 years old, the legendary actor, director, and cultural icon had been enjoying what close friends described as a rare moment of rest at his oceanside home, surrounded by scripts, books, and the steady comfort of silence. But on that unassuming evening, something changed. According to a longtime staff member who requested anonymity, Clint had been unusually quiet during dinner, brushing off a faint tremor in his left hand and a shortness of breath that seemed to linger longer than usual. He waved it off, said it was just one of those old age things, the source recalled. But by 11:47 p.m., when he collapsed briefly while attempting to get up from his armchair, his personal assistant acted immediately and dialed 911. Paramedics arrived within minutes and found Eastwood conscious but disoriented, his blood pressure alarmingly low, his pulse erratic. He reportedly tried to argue with the responders, insisting he didn't want to make a fuss, but the EMTs, recognizing the seriousness of the situation, insisted on immediate transport. The ride to the nearby Monterey Peninsula Hospital was tense. Eastwood, ever stoic, kept asking for updates on the weather and chuckling softly as if trying to downplay the weight of the moment. But behind the scenes, his team had already begun alerting family members. His son Scott Eastwood reportedly rushed from Los Angeles by helicopter, while longtime friend and producer Robert Lorenz quietly made arrangements for Eastwood's potential hospitalization to remain private. Doctors were initially uncertain what exactly had triggered the episode, Suspicions ranged from cardiac arrhythmia to a mini-stroke, but after several hours of tests, it was confirmed that Eastwood had suffered a transient ischemic attack, TIA, often referred to as a warning stroke. Though not fatal, such events are considered serious red flags for potential larger strokes in the future. He was stabilized by 3:30 a.m., and by dawn, he was already asking for his morning paper and scribbling notes for an upcoming screenplay he'd been developing. He was more worried about missing a production meeting than his own heart, one nurse joked. For the public, the incident was kept under wraps for nearly a week. Eastwood's camp released a vague statement about a brief and precautionary medical visit, but rumors quickly swirled across social media, prompting concerns about his health. Paparazzi circled the hospital while fans sent flowers, cards, and handwritten letters to the facility. Meanwhile, inside his private recovery suite, Eastwood reportedly requested to watch Sergio Leone's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, muttering, "It never gets old," to a young nurse who admitted it was her first time seeing it. His recovery was surprisingly swift. By the end of the week, he was walking the halls under doctor's supervision, cracking jokes, and asking to see the daily box office reports. But doctors warned him to slow down, something friends and family say will be his greatest challenge yet. "Clint doesn't know how to stop," said his daughter Allison in a later interview. "The idea of retirement, of silence, it unsettles him more than any diagnosis." Since the hospitalization, Eastwood has made a few minor lifestyle adjustments: less salt, more rest, and regular cardiovascular checkups. But in true Clint fashion, he refuses to dwell on mortality. "If it comes, it comes," he allegedly told a friend. "But until then, I've got a few stories left to tell." And tell them he will. Though the hospital visit shook fans and even some of his closest confidants, it ultimately reaffirmed what many have long believed about Clint Eastwood. He's not just a survivor, he's a relentless force of nature. Frail, maybe, mortal, sure. But finished, not by a long shot.